Hello crafty friends, Laura here with another 12x12 layout. We're going to start this one off with some painting. The premise of the layout is that I have fussy cut most of a sheet of paper, floral paper from Cocoa Vanilla Midnight collection. It's sort of outline drawings and the lines are navy dark, they're not black, so I'm matching my ink colours, my paint colours, to those fussy cut flowers, which you'll see later on. I'm using shimmers. I've got After Dark, Heidi Ho Blue, Onyx Black. It doesn't really matter what the colours are. I've got a mixture and they're dark blue tones. I'm working on my Prima watercolour block. I'm adding plain water first and then dropping in colours. This is the second attempt. First attempt was not loose enough, it was too rigid. So this one I'm holding everything really loosely and lightly. I'm not squeezing my brush, I'm holding it very gently, and look, that's what happens. I dropped my brush, which helped loosen everything up even more. So now I'm veering from my imperfect circles to even less perfect circles with a smudgy splodge. I'm trying to get a grid of 25 roughly in the centre. It's not in the centre and it's not square at all, but it's not meant to be perfectly geometric. It's meant to be hand painted and wonky. So I'm going to go back in to most of the circles and add a bit more colour and a bit more water, a bit more pigment, so that they dry very unevenly. I'm also going to add in some water outside of a couple of the circles and encourage them to bleed out, so that it makes it look like my mistake wasn't a mistake. And if something's repeated around the page a few times, it begins to look like it was more deliberate rather than she dropped her paintbrush. At least that's the hope. I'm actually glad that I did drop my paintbrush, because the finished result is much looser because of that bit of because of that mistake. Yeah. I'm adding a few splatters as well. I wasn't going to add splatter to begin with. Again, I think because I dropped the brush and everything went differently to how I had it in my head, I just went with the flow a bit more and added splatters. I am trying to keep a margin around the outside of just clear white. I do fuss around and faff with it quite a lot. When things are much drier than they are now, but not completely dry, I come in with some gold and add just a few touches of gold. I'm fussing with it. I'm telling myself, stop fussing, leave it, leave it. So eventually I managed to walk away and leave it. When it's dry, I rotate it. I felt that one side was heavier than the other, so I put what I felt was the heavier side down at the bottom. I'm using some of that same cocoa vanilla paper to put a couple of layers behind the photo. As you can see, I've cut loads of the paper. I was just on a roll. I had no plan for what I was going to do with them, and by the end of this layer I've still got loads left over, so I'm going to do possibly 2 more layouts using them. It's a gorgeous paper, and Zoe Pern did a really good job with this. Gold thread. I'm using my dress. Goodness, I've got no decorum. Gold thread. I'm not a fan of gold thread because you can never get it to do what you want it to do. It has a mind of its own. I'm nearly at the end of my spool, and I don't think I'll be replacing it with another, just because it's just so hard to work with. However, with the touches of gold in the painting, it does work really nicely. So I'm going to add 3 tangles of gold around the page. I'm popping up my Fussy cut florals on some foam pads. I've got 2 depths of foam. I've got a 3mm and a 1mm. Most of this long sprig went on 3mm, and then I'm going to make a cluster down at the bottom left, which is going to be on varying heights. I'm trying to work my way through some of my acrylic pieces. I'm finding that unless I start the page knowing where they're going to go, they don't make it on. So I've got a little pile of gorgeous iridescent acrylic hearts, and they've got nowhere to go on the page. So they're not going to make it, but the sequins make the cut. I'm pulling out a few different sizes of clear and some dark navy sequins. I'm running low on my clear sequins. I need to have a word with Spiegel Mum and see if she has any plans for a nice sparkly clear mix anytime soon. So I'm just dotting them around the page, and that's pretty much it done. I want to say a really huge and sincere thank you to my subscribers. I recently hit 1,000, and that to me is just crazy. So totally crazy. So thank you very much for being my subscribers, for watching. I am working with some of my favourite shops and my favourite scrappers to bring you a hop next week. It'll be on the 9th, so keep your eyes peeled. There will be more details soon. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe and all that jazz, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye friends.